Today I want to talk about why you should incorporate music in your life a whole lot more often. Hello, this is Melissa Dillon with the show Have More Time, brought to you by raisingkindness.org. We cover topics all about mind management and time management life skills that'll help you build a life that you love a whole lot more with your family and for yourself. So let's dive in. Hello and good morning. I'm so happy to be here today, and it dawned on me we've talked about music a teeny tiny bit on this show, but I wanted to dive in a little bit more because I incorporate music in my life a lot. It's actually my husband who enlightened me to the idea of just lifting our moods and the energy in our home through incorporating music in pretty much a lot of our moments when we're home or throughout the day or in the car and all of that. So I wanted to share real quickly some ideas and why you should incorporate music into your life a lot more often. So studies have shown that music elevates mood and lowers your risk for depression. It actually lowers your stress hormones production, specifically cortisol, among others. And if you listen to music more often, you may find that the energy of your children is also more positive. So some examples of the way that we incorporate this in our home is anytime that we're cleaning, anytime that we're playing. And actually this was inspired by our morning routine because every morning one of the first things that I do is first I brew the coffee. I start coffee, and then the second thing I do is turn on the music. And immediately what that does is puts Bodhi, our 4-year-old, into a state of just lower stress, relaxation, and he knows that we're in the routine of the morning time. He's a whole lot less demanding, he knows the flow, and he more often will tend to entertain himself when I'm preparing breakfast, when I'm preparing his lunches. So that's why I love music. So incorporating it into your morning routine can really shift the mood of your child. And then you'll notice that everything feels a little bit more positive and free-flowing for you too. Even though you're organized in your morning routine, or any routine for that matter, having music just eliminates the stresses and the focus of stress that your mind may be going through when all is quiet. Have you ever noticed that? When it's quiet, things can feel stale, maybe a little awkward. It feels like your brain is distracting itself with ruminating thoughts about what your day has in store for you, maybe good things, maybe bad. And regardless, it's a little bit more challenging to live in the present without the music because of where your body may be and in the habits of maybe having a little bit more stress in your life. So adding music to your life can lower stress. Having music on the way to school, dropping the kids off at school, that's a really fun time to throw some music and allow them to choose the music that's in the car so that they feel like, yeah, I picked the music. And it can even be adult music. Like today, Bodhi chose AC/DC. He likes Thunderstruck. So that's what we listened to this morning on the way to school. So it doesn't have to be Raffi or Laurie Berkner's or any of those, kids songs necessarily, but it could be an adult band or singer that you enjoy that they happen to enjoy also. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, even though podcasts are a whole lot of fun, I am a binger on podcasts. I love listening to podcasts and I love creating them for you. But sometimes it's just healthier to allow your brain to rest. So instead of filling your time with a whole lot of learnings when you're in between work and driving, or you're in between meetings or running, those times, those opportunities when you're exercising or in the car can be times to elevate your mood through music instead of trying to pack in more education into your mind. Allow your mind to absorb what it's already learned in the last 24 hours or even 48 or 72 hours. Sometimes you'll notice in your body when you've had too much information consumption. So just pay attention to your body when you're listening to podcasts. Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Is your brain feeling a little foggy? Then it might be time to take a little break from education and put on some jams. instead. And lastly, in the evening, so transitioning into your evening routine, I suggest putting on some relaxing music, something that's mellow, something that indicates bedtime is coming. You'll notice that your child may get a little antsy, especially when it is bedtime, either because they don't want to go to bed or they're just noticeably tired. And putting music on that's more relaxing will indicate that it is time to go into the bedtime routine. And after a while, you'll find yourself just kind of flowing through it. It may be less of a fight. And if you are having problems with the bedtime routine, or any routine for that matter, then let me know. You can email melissa@raisingkindness.org, or you can go ahead and leave us a message on our website. So before I get into the next part and finishing up this episode, I have a quick announcement about that. Hi there, it's Melissa here with a quick announcement. On our website, raisingkindness.org, we just launched a new feature of asking your question. So go over to raisingkindness.org today to record your question, and it could be answered on a future episode. Now, your question could be about anything. It could be about today's topic. It could be about a previous one on another episode. It could even be about anything that you're facing in your own life that's a challenge or a problem that you're looking for a solution on your journey, your mission to building a life that you love with your family. So, does that sound good? Go ahead and go over to raisingkindness.org today and ask your question of us right now. Oh, and now back to the show. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to that. I hope that you find yourself with lots of questions that you can definitely ask, because I will be publishing Q&A sessions very, very soon here. So if you have any questions about the routines, then please let me know. So music is one thing you can incorporate in your routines to cue your child up, or your family in general, and even your own mind into, okay, now it's time for the evening, it's time to wind down. And what my husband and I will typically do is put on some cool mellow music like Coldplay or Dave Matthews around dinner time. And then once it gets to real bedtime, then we put on relaxation, meditation, anything that's just Zen, something that you would listen to in a massage spa. That really is our cue for bedtime. So we're getting in the shower, we're brushing our teeth, our jammies are on, and now it's time for us to chillax. So we'll keep that music on after Bodhi goes to bed, then we'll continue with that music during reading. We try to avoid TV, especially unless we're like really in the mood, then we'll throw it on for an hour or so before bed. But we try to avoid it because if you're listening to television in lieu of music in the evenings, then it could send your brain into a different direction other than sleeping. So it's suggested by a number of studies that 30 minutes before bedtime, all screen time. Forgive me, my navigation's actually going off. I'm recording this for you in my car. So if you avoid television, forgive me, I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's go right back to it. Okay, so and by the way, in case you're new here, welcome. And I do record a lot of stuff in the car because it's so important to me for me to get you these episodes. And right now we're just in a very busy season. So that's why things are very raw, unedited. And even though I put lots of thought and prior planning into each of my episodes so I know what I'm going to share with you, but I don't do the editing because it just takes so much time. And then you get into the distraction of perfection over just progress. But anywho, okay, so I digress back into what we were talking about. So what we'll do is we'll keep that meditation music and we'll do quiet time, and then the screen time we try to keep off, and we shut it off at least 30 minutes before bedtime so that our brain gets back into the rhythm of, okay, it's time to sleep. Because the blue light on screens, whether it be your computer screen, your phone screen, your TV screen, it sends your brain into the misconception that the sun is still up and it's time to be awake. So just keep that in mind, and trading out TV time for music is a really nice alternative to leave you feeling more mellow and relaxed. So I hope that you find this episode helpful. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for sharing it with me today. And if you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to go to raisingkindness.org. And if you found this episode helpful, please do subscribe, because I really would love to talk to you again and support you on your journey to building a life that you love with your family. All right, I'll talk with you next time.